Non-alcoholic beers may seem like a healthier option, but when you remove alcohol, you're removing one of the best preservatives that we have in brewing. Brewing a non-alcoholic beer at home opens up the door to risks such as bacteria, mold, and in the worst case scenario, even food poisoning. But I'm gonna do it anyway because this month is Dry July. Dry July is about going alcohol-free for a month to raise money for people affected by cancer. So this month I will be going dry and creating a non-alcoholic stout, which is rich, toasty, full of flavor, and less than 0.5% alcohol. Before we get into the risks of creating a non-alcoholic beer, let's get into the grain bill. For the grain bill of my stout, I am using 6 different grains. I'm using 500 grams of Cooper's pale malt. I'm using 200 grams of rolled oats, 150 grams of light crystal, 150 grams of lactose, 120 grams of chocolate malt, 100 grams of roast barley, and 70 grams of dark crystal. This is all gonna go into 15 liters of water, and by the end, I should have a 12-liter brew. Only a small amount of grain, because the more grain you have, the more sugar there's gonna be, and we do not want sugars. To brew a non-alcoholic beer, you actually wanna create unfermentable sugars. For brewing a non-alcoholic beer, step 1, you wanna start with a nice high temperature of about 82 degrees. You're going to be mashing at about 80 degrees Celsius. Step 2, you want actually quite a rough mill on your grain. I personally didn't do that because I thought it would be a bit rude to ask my home brew shop to adjust their mill settings. The less efficient, the better. Step 3, you need to have your pH as low as 4.2. We'll get to it. Step 4, we're only gonna mash for half an hour. If you ever ask the question, I wonder what lactose tastes like, the answer is it's really gritty like sand. Just sweet is the answer. I don't know what I expected, to be honest. I expected milk powder. I'll be adding the lactose in when I start the boil. In goes lactose. Give that a little stir. And we're only gonna do a half an hour boil because we just don't want to compact those sugars. To avoid giving myself food poisoning, I do need to get my pH to less than 4.2. I got some pH testers from a pool shop. Did I read that it only went down to 6.8? No, I did not. So I don't have an actual way to test the pH of what my beer is going to be. I ended up using the Brewfather calculator, and it said to add roughly, it said to add 5 milliliters of lactic acid. That's what I've got going to do. It may make the pH really acidic, but as long as it's low enough, I'm not gonna get sick, I hope. Wish me luck. My choice of hop is going to be Fuggles. Fuggles just has that good earthy flavour, and I think it's going to complement the non-alcoholic stout. I'm going to do a 30-minute boil with 11 grams of Fuggles, and then for my flame out, I'm going to use 20 grams of Fuggles. Because there's going to be a lot of residual sweetness and no alcohol to complement the bitterness, you actually want your IBUs quite low. I'm aiming for about 10 IBUs. We're now at the start of boil, so let's add in our Fuggles for half an hour. One thing I cannot stress enough, if you are ever gonna make a non-alcoholic beer, do not bottle it. Do it with something that's enclosed, so like kegging. Kegging's probably the best way to do it, and that's exactly how I'm gonna do it as well. I cannot stress enough how sterile you need to be when making a non-alcoholic beer. Sterile. Everything's now in the fermenter. It's time to pitch our yeast. I'm going with a Nottingham yeast for my non-alcoholic beer. We're gonna leave that for 3 days to ferment. On the 3rd day, I'm gonna put it in the fridge and cold crash it to 2 degrees. leave it cold crashed for 2 days, put it in a keg, and then we can drink it, and that begins our journey of Dry July. While we wait for this to ferment, I'm gonna put a QR code right here. Go over to the Dry July page and please donate and help people that are affected by cancer. For me, it's been about 5 days. For you, it's been about 5 seconds. And if you did donate, I really appreciate it. I don't think you understand how grateful I am. If you didn't donate, just you being here is support enough. I went and got myself an 8-litre keg. I think they're quite cute. But I've got my sterilizer in there. I'm gonna get that pristine. You'll be able to perform surgery in my kitchen once I'm done. The original gravity for the beer itself was 1.015. So if it's fermented, we're aiming for about 1.013. Really the yeast is just to add flavor and make it taste like beer. We don't want alcohol. If not, I'm gonna have a very wurty beer. One of my commenters actually told me about this method of kegging. So essentially what I'm gonna do is fill this up with CO2, of course, first, so we don't have any oxygen. I'm gonna drop the pressure in this, raise the pressure in that, and then create a feedback loop. I'll show you. We have liquid going into keg. Liquid goes into keg, pushes gas up and gas out of the gas pipe back into the pressure fermenter. So when I pull this, circulation should theoretically start. All right, everyone's lied to me. The daisy chain no worky. This is like the infinite energy theory where you plug the plug into the loop and then you have infinite power. The infinite power ain't working. That's right, we'll go back to the old fashioned way. The whole reason that I'm actually making a non-alcoholic beer is I love experimentation, and to be able to make a non-alcoholic beer seems like the coolest thing ever to me. And if I can do it for a good cause and raise money for people that are affected by cancer, I think that's a great thing as well. So if you're gonna support me this Dry July, remember that you're not actually supporting me, you're supporting people affected by cancer. Also, whoever works at Kegland and put that white pipe in for the 8-litre pet kegs, not fair. I was soaking in hot water for so long, I couldn't even get it in and it was just too tough. Taken a little bit out of the fermenter. The good news is it doesn't smell putrid, so that should mean there's no bacteria or anything in there. There was no mold on it when I checked it. It smells like coconut. Like it smells like coconut milk or cream or whatever you put in Thai red curry. Bad news is it's quite bland. It tastes like a stout, but it's just boring. Wow, I'm a little bit upset. I thought this was gonna be really good. Definitely thought it'd be more bitter as well. It's not bitter at all. I'll be honest, this is borderline a dark lager. But it doesn't taste like wort, which is also good. It tastes like beer. Do you know what's really cool about doing the shaky method? Is as the carbon dioxide dissolves into the stout, it gets soft. So it starts hard, absorbs the CO2 and then gets soft. Small things, amuse small minds. All that shaking for nothing. Oh no, it's carbonated. That's weird, just no head. Oh. Who would have thought carbon dioxide added flavour? Now that it's carbonated, actually, it's really nice. It's really refreshing. I'm really happy. And I'd be even more happy if you donated to Dry July and supported people affected by cancer. Oh, I'm really glad that this tastes a little bit better now that it's carbonated. I'm actually very proud of myself. If it doesn't make me sick, I'll be even more proud. It's not going to make me sick. But the gravity ended up being 0.015 as the OG, and the FG was 0.015, so no alcohol was produced. If you're a beginner brewer and you've never made a non-alcoholic beer, start with an alcoholic beer. Here, click here. This is the best yeast to use if you are a beginner. See you again very soon. Cheers.